oh my gosh, what I've been doing with this man, I don't even like him.
A man is capable of achieving whatever you believe is
Yes.
important to you.
When you are relaxed in a certain state of self-worth, you never have to ask.
Unconsciously, any good man wants initiation.
I cannot even imagine that I would go on a date with a man and he would offer to split the bill.
Do I trust myself? Do I trust my own capacity to be with what arises if this relationship breaks down?
He actually can be anything, but do you allow him?
The sacred union is impossible without inner union.
Here's my beautiful friend, Chantel, and we've been having the time of our lives. And just so much joy and happiness of being in the sisterhood and the constant deep dives, because also what connects us is just this unquenchable thirst for love and for the complete life in this limitless reality of who we truly are. So we've been talking about these topics of how do we as women really open to the love that we are? How do we really step into the highest path as a woman? And what kind of circumstances in life really open this boundless heart and really let us just be that love for the highest good of all? Because when we step into our fullest potential, this is how the whole world experiences the goddess.
So we're diving into receiving his provision,
And
trusting his love, which, you know, it's been amazing just chatting with you and feeling what your edges have been with that in your life, what my edges have been, and meeting in that. And I feel like we're two forces that are supporting women to embody love, and I've always loved your work and resonate with it, and also feel like there's this similarity between us and then this difference that creates an amazing foundation for deep philosophical conversations.
So philosophical. So maybe let's share about our similarities a little bit in the story. So we're both actually coming from being lawyers of all things. And so that I really believe that gives this kind of sense of like just being okay in the practical reality and actually having developed quite some brain and the structure in this brain to really understand like how to make these incredible mystical teachings really applicable to the world. And I think that's another similarity, that we are both very attuned to the supreme reality and at the same time making it very practical and like actionable for people.
So we're going to make it practical for you. We're going to really support this sense of what it means in the body to receive a man's provision, and what it means in the body to trust his love. And the reason I'm emphasizing in the body is because a lot of women tend to be focused on what he's doing or not doing. And then depending on what he's doing or not doing, that's the level of receivership, or that's the level of trust. And so where our teachings also meet is that we're both all about it starts here. And it actually, you know, it has very little to do with him. Your capacity to receive and your capacity to trust has very little to do with the man. That doesn't mean that you can just be with any man and be in full receivership and trust. Like, of course, there's testing and there's getting to know someone, but what it means is you're so solid in yourself in terms of your receptivity and trust in your own being and your own body, that whether or not you continue with a man is based on how you feel inside and based on listening to this body wisdom and listening to your heart and giving him the highest chance possible of being able to provide for you, and you being able to trust him. Because a lot of times women, it's like he doesn't even have a chance. We already have all this conditioning and projections that we're putting onto him, right?
Yeah. yeah, there's this interesting thing of like how much permission do we give to ourselves, really? And these men, and I keep on talking about it, that these beautiful men are always providing. Like they're providing so precisely that it's actually terrifying for a lot of women. And then it's because it's so terrifying, it's so overstimulating, it can be for the nervous system, that for a woman then it becomes easier to blame the man and say that there's something wrong with him, or he has some trauma to deal with and he is not enough, which hits on his deepest wounds anyway, but it's a whole other thing. But it's like it's kind of easier to stay protected versus actually receiving the provision. And even if he steps back, and even if he says, oh no, I cannot afford that, or no, I can only give you this type of gift and not this type of gift, this is how I can meet you, and this is, I'm not available for, then, like it's easy to just get like stimulated in this, and it's like, oh, how can he? Oh, but I deserve that, but this is what I want. And instead, my invitation is to actually trust the provision and not just like, okay, well, this is my level right now. So
and the only way that that's possible is to actually be present in your body and soften in your body and receptive in your body. And with provision, yes, there's gifts. There's also him providing direction and leadership, him providing whatever it is that penetrates from his being. So his purpose, his wider consciousness, of course, gifts and money come into that. My experience is that it is completely dependent on my capacity to be here. And I've been with men who, when I was closed and when I hadn't resolved a lot of my trauma, no matter how much they were providing for me, I actually couldn't receive it. And I feel like receptivity really rests on four main pillars. The first is how present you are in your own body, to your own sensation, to your own emotion, to your own heart, to your own sexuality, so that you can actually receive that penetrative masculine consciousness, direction, leadership, gifts, love. The second thing would be like how open you are to receiving masculine energy in general. So for me, when I really learned to trust the consciousness, the masculine consciousness that flows through all of life, I became much more open to the personality of the masculine and masculine in form. And then the third principle, of course, is polarity. Like if you're holding masculine control, if you're holding the masculine pole, and you're like very much extending energy, directing things, controlling things, rather than being in the feminine polarity of softness and surrender and being able to be led, being able to receive, then yeah, good luck. And then I would say that the fourth thing is probably one of the most important, which is healing the wounds of the past that would otherwise remain stuck and create armor around your heart and your body, making it impossible for you to receive.
And to me, all this is rooted in this place of trust. Like, how deep can I trust this life? How deep can I relax into not resisting everything that arises? And this masculine provision, like, that's to me the most exquisite place to go, like, well, what he's always providing, like always. Now I'm in the middle, or like in the end actually, of running Calling Him Home, my program about women opening to this masculine provision and really becoming that home, not only for him but for all of life, really. And then here recognizing that it's like it all depends on how much you get to relax into the love that you are and trust. Therefore, even his provision can be space. When a man steps back and he goes into his cave, it's also a provision. He's providing you the space to reassess, to check. When I was dating my first boyfriend, I had so many requests towards him. Like I was 19, but like I literally was critical about every single thing he was doing. Like he was not intelligent enough for me. He was not quick enough. He was not understanding what I needed. He would not give me the level of gifts that I wanted. He was just like, I completely like was constantly bashing this poor guy. And then one day, fair enough, he tells me, Sophia, I think we need to take a break. Like, you have so many demands that I'm not handling, and I think we need to take a break. To which I said, a break? From me? And then I said, no, then we're breaking up. And then I cried for a day. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what I've been doing with this man, I don't even like him. Like, let alone like being in a relationship. I don't even like him. So he actually provided the space for me to reflect on it. And then he wanted to come back because, that's what happens for men when they're stepping back, and they also assess, because men actually often fall in love with our absence and not with our presence. Because in the absence, they can understand what is missing. And so he then came back and he wanted to make things work. But I was like, no, thanks. You already provided that, incredible gift for me to realize that it's just not the gig for me. And, and then when we don't trust that flow of love, then we will be holding, and I would be holding him, and I would be like, no, okay, you want a break? Okay, take a break. And I will just stand here and wait until you come back. But it was not like, okay. But like, I become present with myself, finally. I get out of this hamster wheel of like, oh, I need to receive his love, I need to receive his commitment in order to feel better about myself. It's like, no, okay, I trust. Okay, this is how it is offered to me. I allow myself to have real human emotions and cry and process and integrate, and then actually the next thing from there is that I actually blossom into a higher level of self-worth. And it's not that he is bad or something is wrong about him, but it's more so I recognize that my level of permission to myself has to expand. And so this man is removed from my field completely naturally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a really important thing for you to hone in on as a woman, if you do want to trust his love and you do want to receive his provision, is to understand that how we do anything is how we do everything. And if you're not trusting life, and if you don't have trust in yourself to actually handle life, you're never going to be able to trust him. You're going to want to control the relationship so that you don't have to feel pain. You want to control the relationship so that you don't have to feel abandoned. You're going to be running on a lot of fear instead of openness. So, the first place to really focus on is, do I trust myself? Do I trust my own capacity to be with what arises if this relationship breaks down? Do I trust life? Can I surrender to life, right? So just imagine that here's a relationship, here's life. In life, we're controlling everything and we're utilizing our mind to do that. Of course, that's going to translate over to here, yeah? But imagine that over here, we're really like flowing with life, receiving life, trusting our own capacity to be with the peaks and valleys, that we can be with pleasure, we can be with pain. Then that's how we're going to be in relationships. So this is a really important place to start. And then the same principle follows with receptivity. You're not going to suddenly be able to receive provision and suddenly be able to receive love fully if you're not actually in that state as a woman. So, inner union is the foundational principle of Tantra that everything else is built on. And when we can receive provision and trust love, that is such a central part of sacred union, but sacred union is impossible without inner union. So that's where we begin. And if I look back onto my first relationship, it's just so interesting to see all of the ways that I didn't want to be needy. And when I look back, it's like I was only as needy as my unmet needs. There were needs being unmet in the relationship, but I was like, trying to control things so that I was this amazing partner and I was this perfect, you know, I've been into spirituality pretty much all my life, and I wanted to be this perfect spiritual woman who was completely independent. I didn't understand the concept of interdependence. I didn't understand that honoring my own desires and needs is just as important as being unconditional. So I used to just put up with a lot and then bring everything back to my practice and like, you know, I need to just accept this. I need to just allow this. Fucking bullshit. Like, part of being receptive, part of trusting yourself is to listen to your body and actually get honest with yourself. What do you need? What do you want in order to feel the ultimate trust and receptivity to provision and love? So let's just close down the eyes for like one moment and just put a hand on our womb, a hand on our heart. And thank you for being with us. Sophia and I are so passionate about supporting women to really feel deeper, to get honest with ourselves, and to ask ourselves the question, like, what is non-negotiable for me? What do I know I need to receive to be in alignment with full receptivity and trust? What do I need to receive?
And it has to feel a bit like an edge, because if you are just like, oh well, I need my partner to be honest, I need him to be, you know, there for me, I need him to be present, but it's like, is this really your expansion? Because as a woman, you are constantly meant to be in the more. You know, as women, we always want more, no matter how much we get. And there is an incredible beauty to that, because as a feminine, we are that love, and love is infinite. And as you settle into that love more and more, you understand that if you're not trembling in this physical body, it means you're settling. And who benefits from that? It's that you will never find fulfillment in settling. You will never find this place of like, I am alive in the settling. And so this actual place of like non-negotiable, we can put it like that, or just this sense of like, this is what opens me. And in provision, when I speak about masculine provision, what I find is that when you are relaxed in a certain state of self-worth, you never have to ask, you never have to explain to a man why he should be providing. You know, there are women who always experience this whole 50-50 with a man, that she goes on a date and then a man is asking her to split the bill. I find that this is probably one of the like toughest conspiracies of our times, because it really makes him feel smaller and makes her feel smaller. So who benefits from that? And this place of like where you really relax into that place, and you just cannot even, like, I cannot even imagine that I would go on a date with a man and he would offer to split the bill 50-50. It's like I cannot even imagine. It's like I'm so far away from that reality that I never experienced that. And then, like, you know, you get to lean into greater and greater and greater permission within yourself to what actually opens you. You know, when it comes to specific actions, presence, men being there, men providing financially, where I am at, I can give myself so much because I've provided for myself such a place of where I am so held. But what I want from a man is to open me. So the kind of provision that I require is something that is kind of bigger than what I can give to myself, because that opens my heart, because that goes like, wow, I can receive even more. And when a man really loves me, he is doing that with so much as a privilege, actually. And there's no explanation needed. There's no back and forth needed. It's just like he knows that as he does that for me, I open, and masculine wants nothing more than to open the feminine, because that's a nectar that he is fed by. I keep saying, man without a woman is dead, actually. Like, Shiva without Shakti is just a corpse. It's just a corpse. He is empty in his essence. So it's the feminine openness and this like aliveness that actually bring him to life. So of course the masculine will always want the openness. And then he can do it in so many various ways. Provision can come in so many various ways. And then if you're someone like me, and for you the financial provision is also important, because you've come to this place of like, this is what I can do for myself. Not from a place of, oh my gosh, I cannot provide for myself, can a man do it for me? I find that this is incredibly disempowering, actually. But for women who are like, well, I am holding myself pretty solid, and yes, I require from a man to hold me even more solid, so that I can look at him with admiration, so that I can truly like respect and shower him in that adoration genuinely, naturally, not because he's expecting that, he gives me, a few roses and then he's expecting me to like, be like in awe. Like if he's expecting that, it's like the game is lost already. If there's any expectation, so it's like it really has to be from this natural place.
And that naturalness is so important, and it's also directly connected to your sense of self-worth. When you're attracting a man and knowing what's important to you, is it natural for him? And not falling in love with potential, but actually feeling that. So my absolute number one non-negotiable in terms of provision is that a man needs to take my consciousness where I can't take myself. Like I can't be with a man who's not doing that. And if I'm not feeling that in a man, then I just won't be with him. Or if that starts to wane in the relationship, I'm going to ask for that. And that will take different flavors. But like what I find with my current partner, Matisse, is that the next point of that expansion that you're talking about, of where I'm needing him to take me beyond where I can take myself, sometimes I'm at a point of like, maybe this relationship is over now. Maybe we've reached our limit. And I need to be so connected to my worth, so honest with myself that this is all I want, that I am prepared to end the relationship. Not from a place of blame or shame, but just like maybe this man naturally isn't compatible with what I'm needing. Now, every time I've asked for whatever I ask for, he evolves and goes to the next place. And what I will say about men is that even though consciously they may not want you to change them, unconsciously, any good man wants initiation.
Yes, an expansion.
And I ask for things that like women wouldn't dare ask for. My partner's 16 years younger than me, and I remember like the biggest request I've had of him. He was at the point where he was really helping me with my kids and looking after them beautifully with me, which was a request from earlier in the relationship, so close to them. But I couldn't feel his cosmic consciousness holding them. And I was in my morning practice, and if you don't already have a morning practice of tuning into yourself, tuning into what you need, tuning into your body, I highly recommend it. So I'm in my morning practice and I'm just intentionally connecting with pleasure and feeling what's there. And of course, when we intentionally connect with pleasure and joy and love and gratitude, whatever isn't that shows up, right? So I was feeling this niggle in my body and this deep longing, and I'm like, what is that? And I just started crying, and I'm like, no, I want a father for my children who's also attuned to them at a more cosmic consciousness level, who's holding them in his awareness. And, Matisse was laying next to me, and he was like, do you want to share, babe? And I'm like, no, I'm just, moving through something. And he's pretty intuitive, and I definitely trust his direction. And he just like held my hand and said, I feel like it's important for you to share. I said, look, this is a completely unreasonable request, but this is what is showing up in my body. What I'm actually really longing for is for you to not only father my children at a 3D level, but also father them from that cosmic father level. And he just, really contemplated it. He took some time. We're in Bali, and it was so funny. Everywhere we went, there was like cosmic father omens. We went to this park that the kids wanted to go to, and there was this like massive, on this big hill, green father coming out, like huge, bigger than this wall behind us. and had all kids underneath him. And then we went to this beautiful waterfall that he found us, and there was like Shiva, Parvati, and Ganesha, which is like the family in the deity world. So it was a magical, synchronistic day. He said yes to my request. And what I'll say is, nothing is impossible. A man is capable of achieving whatever you believe is important to you. He has fucking got it. And if you have that sense of self-worth, if he doesn't have it, he's not the man for you. And so you want to know that, right?
And often for men, they don't have a reason to step into their potential if the woman is keeping herself small. Because men, let's face it, they can live in a freaking shack and be fine. But it's for the woman that a man does those biggest things. The greatest men I know are the men who tell to their woman, I want to give you the world. I will bring you the world. And it's like he's so lit up and inspired by her. And so much of my work, and I'm sure your work as well, is dedicated for women to become that woman for whom a man will do anything. Why? Because she is pure, because she is embodied, because she's alive, because she's orgasmic, because she is a woman.
And because she'll do anything for herself.
Exactly.
And so when that's your comfort zone, when your own masculine and feminine are connected and merged within, and what you're used to is being fully provided for here, in full receptivity here, in full trust of yourself and life, then it's going to be a no-brainer. Like you're not going to put up with anything less. But so many women in relationship, they're like, oh, he's not doing this, he's not doing that, feeling sad about it, feeling this about it, demanding, making him feel ashamed. And it's like, none of that's going to work.
Because you spiral in lower frequencies vibrations. You spiral into a sense of lack, what he is not, what you are not, how this is a confirmation that, I'm not worthy. He is not doing it for me. Okay, so it means I'm not worthy of that. But on that point, that it's like men, like we all have infinite potential. We all have, we are infinite beings manifested here in this three-dimensional form, but we are infinite, we are one with all that is. So what does it mean practically? It means in this situation that he actually can be anything. But do you allow him? Do you trust in yourself enough to trust in him and bring forward your heart truly? Not like, okay, that's good enough, he's doing the good things, he's already there, he came here, he's okay, just the fact for some other women, they have abusive partners, they're literally beating each other up and cheating. So here, shouldn't I just be grateful for what is? Yes, you should be, but at the same time, why are you dropping him and yourself and the highest potential that we can experience here? So we had this experience just a couple of days ago with our friend that didn't have a reputation of a man who naturally provides for women. And we were going out for dinner, and he was the only man. And so here I had all my Shaktis, and I have a full-on house right now, full of Shakti. I have 3 women staying with me, Chantel, her daughter, and our beautiful friend, Sasha. And we had this whole thing, oh, okay, we're getting ready, we're going out, we're preparing, da-da-da-da-da. And then somehow we started to speak about, I don't know how that conversation came about, but basically the girls, I understood from them that they would not ever expect this man to pay for our dinner. And I was like, what do you mean he's not going to pay for our dinner? They were like, no, he will never do anything. Like you ask, she was like, I can bet anything he will never do that. And I was like, I can bet anything he will do that. If he does not, I would be so shocked. I will lose all respect for him. I cannot fathom that. I don't believe that. And they were like, no, Sophia, no freaking way. You couldn't believe it, right? But I was like, give him a chance. Why are you closing the door on him? They're like, no, he would never do that. No. Why? Give him a chance. It's a man with an infinite potential as well. So why don't we hold it in that way? And sure enough, guess what happened? Of course.
Yes, so Sophia very gracefully invited that in him, and I was like, oh, okay, here we go. And she was like, and so you're going to, you're taking all these Shaktis out, and was that exciting? And he was, and then she's like, oh, and you know, we're very hungry. Like, you sure you can provide for us all? And he said, yes. And we're like, oh, shit. Okay. There, she just did it. She just did it.
Of course, because I see him, because I trust in him. Like, because the fact that he's even anywhere in my proximity, it means that this is the kind of man. Because this is a reality that I've decided to hang out in. You know? And then also, like, afterwards, we were talking about it. And if you're watching, we love you so very much. We after that we were like walking and we were talking about it, and the girls were like, "Oh my gosh, how the fuck did that happen? That actually happened." And I was like, "Yeah, receive, open it." And then I was like, "Look at us. We dressed up like we were completely like gorgeously dressed. We were there laughing, giggling, adoring him, adoring each other. Like how weird it would be to split the bill in that situation. Like just think about it. Like isn't it weird that then we would go like, oh, bill comes and then we're like taking our wallets and we're like, okay, we can fuck that. I'm not interested in that reality.
Yeah, and it's all relative. It's like we all have edges and we all have limits, and most women are not even aware of what those limits are. So I want to go back to what I was saying about trauma in the body and stuck tension that are connected to limiting beliefs from our past where we've been disappointed by men, or we've only experienced a certain level of consciousness or providership or presence or whatever it is. So,
and also it begins with the father, yeah, because there could be like only a certain amount of presence that he could offer, and then woman internalizes that that's how men are generally.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's a deeper conversation. And we'll be going more into it. After this, we're going to have a masterclass around this topic. And part of where we're going to go deeper and take you is into a place of really identifying the limiting beliefs you have around men. Identifying the limiting beliefs that you have around yourself, and then actually feeling where your body remembers distrust, where your body remembers that to keep safe means closing off, where your body is holding trauma, and we're going to really work on releasing that so that the rivers are flowing, so that rather than you living as a woman who's armored at the heart, so that you don't have to feel the pain of when he shows you that you couldn't trust him. And mind you, women are going to always look for reasons why they can't trust. If they're not trusting the masculine, to confirm the reality that lives in their body. So I can't emphasize enough how important it is to release those samskaras, release those beliefs from the body, so that that's not who you are anymore. And so that you can step into a new reality of openness, of surrender, of receptivity that's in alignment with the woman that you want to be.
Yeah, addressing that, you know, being honest. Because sometimes also women kind of go into this bypassing, like, oh, I'm ready. He's not ready, so that's why he's not here, or something like that. But the fact is that if you're ready, it's right in front of you. Like, that's how you can, you know, it's like you don't need to really guess or do tarot readings around it. It's like whatever is right in front of you is what you're ready for. Everything else you're just not available for.
And an easy practice or point of contemplation for you is like, how did I feel with my father? So like for me, my father was always taking my consciousness where I couldn't take myself. And he was also away a lot. So guess what? I attracted these amazingly present men who could guide me into like incredible places, but they were always away all the time. So we're replicating until we're not what we grew up with. My father treated me like an absolute princess. Every single man I've ever been with has treated me like an absolute princess. My father prioritized work over being with me. So I attracted men who prioritized either work or purpose in some way over me. So until not. And so, you know, there comes a day where we go, I'm going to live beyond my conditioning. And actually part of my healing is fucking dependent upon that. Do not limit yourself to just repeating in some way your mother and father's dynamic, right? Or the dynamic you had with your father. And sometimes it's tricky because, you know, we're another generation. And so we're doing it in a more refined way. We're doing it in a more conscious way, but we're still doing it. So don't get tricked. Like, really ask yourself these important questions.
And I want to offer a few resources on that you can access for free. So I have a Telegram channel where I give more in-depth transmissions, and it's a free channel, but you really can get a class there around the mother wound, because the mother wound has an incredibly deep impact on relationships and on who we believe ourselves to be and what we believe ourselves to be worthy of. You will find also the father wound masterclass there, although it like has a small fee to it, like $33. And then there is this meditation that I created, which actually involves you connecting with this archetype of the divine father who was there providing for you early on, that was giving you this imprint, even if your father was absent, not available, not able to provide, or whatever, you know, we all have our stories with our fathers. But in this meditation, I invite you to connect to this divine father who was actually there from early on, giving you this imprint that you can have anything you want, because your potential is limitless, and you are held in that provision. And so you, by doing these processes daily, this is important, you're imprinting that in your system, and then you start to expect it naturally, not from a place of like, I'm expecting that and checking, you know, if he's gonna do it or not, but from a place of like, yeah, this is my life.
Opening to that.
Yeah, this is my life. This is the permission I'm giving to myself. So if you want to get a hold of these resources, enter my Telegram channel. For those of you who are on Instagram, just comment union, and there you will enter the Telegram channel, and you'll be able to do all this work.
And I've got an 8-day incredible journey, Life Tantra, which is totally free. And it was actually meant to be a paid offering, and it took me a year to complete. So it's like a really juicy free offering. What do they comment to get it, Sadell? Tantra 101.
But that's only on Chantel's.
Yeah, so go to Chantel Raven or Embodied Awakening Academy. And then I also have a free meditation on secure attachment. So if you find yourself either avoidant and scared of love and pushing it away, or like very, very needy and anxious around love, this is really going to support you. Do you know what the word is for that meditation, love? Union. Oh, we both have it. Of course. So just comment union either on my Chantel Raven account or Embodied Awakening. And then, as we say, we're going to have deeper containers available to you, because we're both so passionate about this. And basically what we want to give you, you know, I'm 48, she's 38. We've learned a lot along the way. We've been doing this work for a long time. I've been completely committed for almost 2 decades. And yeah, we've both helped thousands across the globe. So if you really want to utilize our wisdom, our embodied wisdom, and you want to take this deeper, then we're going to give you everything that we wish we knew in our 20s, you know? And early 30s. It's like, if I knew the stuff I know now, wow.
Yeah. So we will have a masterclass at some point next year. So that's why best to stay in touch. Come into my Telegram, sign up for Chantel, things to be in the loop, because we're going to have this masterclass, and with just the amount of information that you can get a hold of on the internet, you may just, you know, it may just slip out of your awareness. So stay close, and we will announce it at some point. It will happen. We will have a 3-day masterclass that will be held live online, and then we will have a retreat where we will be co-facilitating, which is so exciting because we both have so many years of facilitating retreats and trainings and guiding people, and we're gonna join forces, and there's quite specific synergy. You might feel it already in this video and whatever you're watching there. You might feel this particular synergy that's there, and I really believe that this energy is incredibly complementary, brings a lot of transformation, a lot of fire, a lot of depth, a lot of truth. So if you know that you want to be in person with us, also information about that will be coming.
Yeah, and I want to leave you with something that I know there's so much information about all of this stuff online and that you can read. And just as a warning, because we're so swamped these days with information, is to be aware that change doesn't happen only through the mind. We can open our perception through information, but where change happens is in the body. And that's our pathway, is like supporting you to go into the body and shifting your energetic infrastructure, your emotional infrastructure, so that you can really open to this full trust and receptivity to men and to life. So we hope to see you somewhere along the line.
That and also, you know, just at the level of consciousness, that literally, like how I like to work is top down, like bottom up, where we address the body and the system and the mind and all of this, you know, as holy companions on the path. But then also going up down, where we actually open the consciousness to higher states, and there that's how you anchor into this place. Like, certain experiences, they're just not going to happen for me because on this level of consciousness they simply don't exist.
And there's a difference between consciousness and mind. Like the mind is often caught in the past and judging everything in the now by what we've already experienced, or controlling the future, whereas consciousness takes us into this vastness where actually the possibilities are endless. And we've both had 100 lives because, you know, we keep going into the potentiality of the quantum field and evolving according to that. And we really want to shepherd you into that same state where you know that your capacity to receive and your capacity to create is absolutely limitless.
Yes, and the thing about consciousness, it's always here, it's always now. So there's no past, no future, and everything exists for you now. So
yeah, we could keep going all day, and we love you all. Hello, Sophia's following who don't know me. Lovely to meet you all. If there's a resonance, and Sophia, for all my followers, is friggin' amazing. She brings things through that I don't, especially around the wealth piece. So tap into Sophia, tap into me if there's a resonance, and we'll see you soon.
thank you.
Oh, I love you.